Would you like to reduce your risk of dying from all causes by 60%? That would translate to 8 to 10 years of additional life. Sounds amazing. Do I have to inject myself with experimental gene therapy? No. Do I have to take certain pharmaceuticals that make you nauseous? No. It's walking. Let me explain. A 2023 meta-analysis of 12 studies that included over 111,000 people from the US found that people who walked 8,700 steps per day had a 60% lower risk of all-cause mortality compared to those who walked only 2,000 steps per day. For incident cardiovascular disease, the effect was 51%. The people who walked 8,700 steps per day had a 51% lower risk of heart disease events than those who walked 2,000 steps per day. If you look at the graph, at 16,000 steps, the researchers did find a small but significant 5% additional reduction in all-cause mortality risk. So you get the majority of benefits, the 60% risk reduction, by going from 2,000 steps to 8,700 steps. But going from 8,700 to 16,000 provides an additional 5% reduction, which totals at 65% lower risk of all-cause mortality compared to walking 2,000 steps per day. Those are some quite impressive numbers. A 60% reduction in all-cause mortality risk is greater than you see from any supplements, diet, or food. The only thing equivalent would be exercise. You can check out my previous video on the topic where I compare the mortality risk reduction between diet and exercise. A healthy diet usually reduces risk by 20%, whereas exercise does so by over 100%. Now, these studies are observational, but they do control for the confounding variables as much as they can. And the findings are quite consistent across different studies in different populations. And we all know walking is good for you. We tend to walk too little in the modern world, and being too sedentary is bad for your health. That's just the truth. Not moving increases your blood pressure, promotes weight gain, reduces your cardiorespiratory fitness and heart function. It also accelerates cognitive decline and makes your bones weak. So how much time investment are we talking about here? Walking 2,000 steps equals to around 25 minutes of walking at a moderate pace of 4.8 kilometers per hour. That's extremely little. You're literally just sitting all day, and the only walking you do is between the toilet, between the couch and fridge, and from the couch to the car. Walking 8,700 steps equals to around 1 hour and 45 minutes of walking at a moderate pace of 4.8 kilometers per hour. You get about 20 minutes from your everyday living activities, and then you put in a bit more extra effort to walk an additional hour. That's like going for an hour-long walk, or just taking the stairs more often, parking the car further away, etc. Walking 16,000 steps per day equals to around 3 hours and 20 minutes of walking at a moderate pace of 4.8 kilometers per hour. This requires you to have 3 one-hour walks plus the 20 minutes for daily household activities. Or you can also achieve that distance with a 1.5-hour jog at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour. Getting the 16,000 steps per day does require a little bit more time and effort, and most people don't have the time for that. However, as you saw from the study, you get the majority of benefits by just getting 8,700 steps per day. Getting those 8,700 steps per day is peanuts. It just requires a little bit more extra walking, about 1.5 hours per day. And a lot of your everyday activities are already included into that. Here are some tips on getting the 8,700 steps per day, and up to 16K if you want to. Have a 10-minute walk every 2 hours. On a regular workday, you'll be able to get at least 45 to 60 minutes with this strategy. You walk first thing in the morning, then quick break around noon, walk again after lunch, another one before leaving work, and then finish off after dinner. The short walking breaks add up over the course of the entire day. Yes, a 5-minute walk isn't a big deal, but if you have a 5-minute walk 10 times a day, then it is quite significant. Number 2, schedule a longer walk of 30 to 60 minutes. I find that just making it a habit to have a slightly longer walk of at least 30 to 60 minutes per day makes it very easy to reach your steps. Do it either 60 minutes in one go, or 30 minutes twice a day, or even 20 minutes 3 times a day. Number 3, get a walking treadmill desk if you can. This makes it very easy to get 16,000 steps every day if you want. You just walk for 20 to 30 minutes several times throughout the day and you're done. Number 4, do cardio at the gym on a bike or treadmill. If you walk faster or run faster, then you'll reach those steps a lot faster. Cardio is also more effective for improving cardiovascular health and cardiorespiratory fitness than just walking. So if you can do cardio, you should do that. It doesn't have to be HIIT, just regular zone 2 cardio at 60% of your max heart rate is enough. Running 7 kilometers at a moderate pace of 8 kilometers per hour equals to 8,700 steps of walking. This would take you about 50 minutes. Running 13 kilometers at that pace would equal to 16,000 steps, and it would take about 1 hour and 40 minutes. Number 5, get a dog or another pet that needs walking. If you go take the dog out to pee every few hours for 5 to 10 minutes, you'll get at least 4 to 5,000 steps from that alone. Pet ownership is associated with a lower risk of all-cause mortality, and part of that might be because pet owners have to walk more. As you can see, it doesn't take a lot of time and effort to reach the 8,700 steps per day. Everyone can practically do it. You just have to structure your life in a way that enables opportunities for spontaneous walking. Maybe it's taking the public transport instead of driving everywhere, maybe it's cycling to work, or maybe it's just taking the stairs more often. There's also the component of walking speed that appears to predict mortality risk. People who walk 1.6 meters per second or 5.8 kilometers per hour have the highest life expectancy, over 30 years for men and over 40 years for women, whereas those with a walking speed of 0.2 meters per second, which equals to 0.7 kilometers per hour, have a life expectancy of less than 10 years for men and less than 12 years for women. However, walking speed is a measure of your total physical ability. You would only test that occasionally. You don't need to speed walk everywhere you go. It's just like a similar test as you would test your grip strength. People who can walk faster are healthier and more fit. But the total daily step count is a behavior that predicts mortality. It's more actionable and it's more important to stick to that on a daily basis. Will just walking make you live longer? Well, it certainly has a big role in that, but there's a lot more that goes into exercise and longevity. Check out my evidence-based workout plan where I crack the code for the best way to exercise for longevity. Other than that, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to click the like and subscribe for future videos about living longer and staying healthier. My name is Siim. Stay optimized, stay empowered.